Myra, you go towards the west. Oh, you
Now we
thank
record.
you.
My bad, Liner. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't record. Siaki, you want to start again?
After halftime. After
Where's the
halftime.
play?
Whatever the guys want.
Rabbi Lehilcha, so you have to stand for tefilas haderech or not?
Oh, I wanted to discuss that too. May Ikar Adin, you don't have to stand for tefilas haderech. The Machmirim do stand.
And what's with smichas bracha? And the smichas bracha doesn't say it in the Gemara.
What are you bringing? What are you bringing your frumka, your Israeli frumka in over here? You don't have to make. You don't have to make. The Machmirim do that. You want me to start it again?
No.
No, Rabbi, we're good.
Okay,
Yes.
Peretz, I'll splice it in later.
Where's the play?
Okay, I'm in a chayre base like
Where?
you're out to Mikilu Lefnei Kaparis, so I'm in Mizrach Machzer Panav Lamayrav. Right? If you're in the east, you're going to be turning towards the west. Mayrav Machzer Panav Lamizrach, Bedarim Machzer Panav Latzafin, right? The west, you face.
Yaakov, maybe just say where you are right now, because if someone picks up at this point, they won't know where you are.
Oh, thank you. First wide line on Daf Lamed Amud Aleph. Yeah? The Mayrav Machzer Panav Lamizrach, and you're in the west, you go towards the east. Bedarim Machzer Panav Latzafin, and you're in the south, you go towards the north. Betzafin Machzer Panav Ladarim. In the north, you're going towards the south. Everybody in Klal Yisrael is being mechaven themselves to one place, sort of like what everybody's doing by being mechaven themselves to watch a Super Bowl. Lahavdil, that's for sure. My krub, Kemigdal David Savarecha Bani Latalpias, Tel Shakolpias Panima. It's the mountain that everybody is looking towards, and that is the Beis Hamikdash. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to haderech al chamor. That's actually an important Gemara. Yeah, it's about, 15 lines down from the top. Haderech al chamor. If you're riding on a chamor, haderech al chamor, v'giyaz man tefila. You're riding on a chamor and it came time to daven. If you have somebody that you're traveling with that could hold onto the chamor so it doesn't run away, then go dismount and then you daven. Vim lav, if not, then sit on the chamor and daven. Either way, you're allowed to sit in your spot. To go off the chamor, you're not going to.
Would that apply today to driving in a car? You have to pull over.
Yes. No, you should lechatchila pull over, but if it's going to make you nervous, then you don't have to. Yeah, this is a very common shayla with mincha. People text that they're in the middle of mincha and they're driving on a highway. Do they have to pull over? Do they not? Really, you don't have to if it's going to really make you nervous and you're not going to concentrate anyways because you're going to be late. Amar Rav V'Taim Rabbi Shua ben Levi halacha karebi. The halacha is like Rebbe, which is what he says. Benkach or benkach, you can sit in your place. Okay, back down now.
Is that the same halacha with Kriya Shema?
Same halacha with Kriya Shema. We had that. No, didn't we have it before? By Kriya Shema lechatchila, you really it's more more makel because you don't need to. You just have to.
Just with the first bracha,
It has to be makabel l'malchus shemayim. You don't have to have yira and pachad and everything like that, which we'll see later. Yeah, fine. Four wide lines down. Avu the Shmuel v'Levi ki avabohu l'mevik la'orcha. This is a very interesting Gemara too. So Avu the Shmuel and Levi when they needed to travel, have a makadmi u'matzli. What they did is they davened early. V'chi have a matas makriya shema karu. And then when it came time to makriya shema, then they davened. So basically, what we do, we know that we're supposed to do smichas gula tefila. But my marriage, if you come late, you could daven shema esrei and then do shema later. So they did this by shachris when they had to leave early. Now Rashi says that they daven before alois, which really is at night. Taisus disagrees. Taisus, where's the Taisus? Taisus Avu the Shmuel, second Taisus from the bottom, says Peter Rashi kaidam amar shachar v'loy niradim kain lahoy yotzim by klal that davening yom. How could you be yotzim davening in the middle of the night? It's only after what's it called? What's the Amud Shachar called? Dawn. Yeah, and they davened before the nets. That's not the Iker's man tefila. Okay, so again, so you have machlokes Rashi Taisus. Rashi learns that you can daven even in the night. Taisus says it has to be. It can be before nets, but it has to be after alois. We paskin like Taisus. You cannot daven before alois. Okay. Anyways, So they would try when they traveled. They did shemona esrei, and then later on they did shema after neitz. Tanya hishkem latzis haderech. If you have to get up early to travel, being like shofar, you bring a shofar for tekeya, blow the shofar, lulav uminaneya, a lulav and you shake it, megillah v'karaba, and a megillah and you read it. K'shigiyaz man kriya shema karah. And then when it comes time to go man kriya shema, then you read it while you're traveling. Hishkem leishe b'karah and a b'sfina. When if you got up early to go on a wagon or on a boat, mispal you daven k'shigiyaz man kriya shema karah.
Yeah, you have what goes on that Rosh Hashanah over here?
Yes, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to get sidetracked. But yeah, imagine a guy's traveling on Rosh Hashanah. Yeah? Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, bye.
It's probably a tzarech mutter. It's a tzarech to shvuim or to go see his Rebbe. It's a mutter way to go.
Okay, you know anybody that travels on Rosh Hashanah? Even the Uman people don't travel on Rosh Hashanah.
Exactly, I was going to say. We have a header probably.
How does this apply to cruises on Shabbos?
No, what's the problem? A cruise? A cruise is fine. A cruise is what should be the problem?
I know, it's traveling.
Really, Me'ikar Adin, you're not allowed to travel on a cruise starting on Wednesday because your seasickness is going to last till Shabbos. Nowadays, our cruise ships are so big, they always consider it doesn't really apply.
But you can't get off the ship, right?
You can't. It depends if it's in the Tchum, you can get off the ship. Bez is Hashem, Shabbos is coming up. Except the Shabbos, we'll learn that. Shemona says, don't do that. Don't daven first and then say Shema later, because then you don't have smichas gula tefila, which we learned a bunch of blot ago is very important. Smichas gula tefila. So he says, don't do it. But what's the machlok? Is marsav tefila mu'umid adav. One holds it's better to daven standing up at home, and then you won't have smichas gula tefila. Marsav mismach gula tefila adav. It's better to do smichas gula tefila and not tefillah standing up. Yeah, so that's why you daven in the wagon or on the boat. So basically, back then they had before Yom Tov, they had these big conventions where they told everybody the halachas. So it was a very long speech. So before they gathered everybody, they davened by themselves. And then they went out to teach. Ravashi, he davened by himself sitting down while he was giving the shir. Meaning, back then they had a translator. So he said the shir and then somebody translated it. So while he was translating it, he davened by himself. And then when he got back home, then he davened standing up. Why don't you just do like Maremer and Marzutra? Right? Who davened first, right, before they got there. It's too much of a tircha for me to daven Kriya Shema and shemona esrei before I give the share. But that remark avoid the Shmuel V'Levi, so then do it like avoid the Shmuel Levi and daven without Kriya Shema. I never saw the rabbis that are older than me ever doing that, meaning davening shemona esrei and then davening Shema later. So therefore, you don't want to do it. Yeah? Fine. Zok the Mishna. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Omer is an interesting machlokes. Ein tefilos mussaf and ela b'chaver ir. You don't have to daven mussaf only if there's a chaver ir. Rashi says chaver ir is only when there's a tzibur. If there's no tzibur, then you don't daven mussaf. And the reason for that is the Mishnah Brura says is because the korban mussaf is a tzibur, right? So since it's a tzibur, so then you don't daven it by yourself. You have to do it both, whether it's with a tzibur and whether it's not with a tzibur. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah that as long as there is a chaver here, then a yachid is patur tefilos mussaf. So it seems like Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah are saying the same thing. All right, because look at the first line in the Mishna again. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says, "Ein tefilos mussaf ela b'chaver ir." Okay, so if there's a chaver ir, you have to daven mussaf. And then it says, Rabbi Yehuda and Mishmai, kol makom sheyesh chaver ir, yachid patur tefilos mussaf. Right? So it sounds like if there's a chaver ir, then you're going to be yaitze with the chaver ir. So let's see. The Gemara is going to say that Rabbi Yehuda hainu Tanakama. It seems like Rabbi Yehuda is the same thing as the Tanakama. It could be now yachid shalai b'chaver ir, a yachid who is not b'chaver ir. Right, meaning he's in a city that doesn't have a minyan. Tanakama Savar Potter. So the Tanakama is going to say it's Potter because there's no minyan. Rabbi Yehuda Savar Chayiv. Rabbi Yehuda is going to say that you're Chayiv because there is a Chaver here. Amar Ravuna Bar Chinun, Amar Rav Chiya Barav, Halach Rabbi Yehuda, Shamar Shem Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah. The halach is like Rabbi Yehuda, B'Shem Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah, right? That you would be Chayiv, and as long as there is a minyan. Amar Rav Chiya Barav and Shapik Amrit. It's good what you said. I never davened mussaf by myself in Arda because there was always a minyan and I relied on the minyan to do it. Except for the day that the army came to town, and then the Rabbanon were busy with it and they didn't daven mussaf. But and I davened biyachid. And I was a yachid who davened without a chaver ear there, right? I mean, there was a chaver ear there, but the chaver ear wasn't davening. Yosef Rav Chanina Kara Kamei Rav Yana Yosef Kamar Allah Rabbi Yehuda Shamar Shem Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah. He said Allah is like Rabbi Yehuda in the name of Allah ben Azariah, which we saw in Amud Aleph. Amalei Puk Kara Karechel Lebrog. Take your psukim and go outside. Then Allah is Rabbi Yehuda. Allah is not like Rabbi Yehuda Shamar Shem Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah. Allah is not like him. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Iri says Rabbi Yanai Tzali Bahad Tzali. I saw Rabbi Yanai daven and then daven again. So what that means is he davened twice. So it must be he davened mussaf, right, by himself. Maybe the reason why he davened twice wasn't one shachas and then mussaf. Maybe he davened twice because the first time he didn't have kavanah, and that's so therefore he had to daven again. Look who's the great person that said this testimony, which was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and he clearly knew when he said that he davened twice, that's shachas and mussaf, he must have known what he was talking about. Okay, bottom line is that we paskin that you do have to daven mussaf, even be yechidus. Okay, we had this Gemara before. Even though they had 13 shuls in Teferi, they only davened by the pillars. Where they learned. Okay, so now there is some controversy here. Does that mean they daven be yechidus? Meaning they didn't want to leave the besmesh, they daven be yechidus, and others say no. They meant that they did daven with a minyan. Idmar Rav Yitzchak bar Rav Dimi Mishim Ravina Amar Halach Rabbi Yehuda Sham Mishim Rabbi Lazar ben Azariah Rav Chiya Barabba Amar Tzali V'Had Tzali. You daven and you go back and daven. Amar Le'Rozer my time over Mar Hachi. Why did Mar do this? Elaim Mishim the like even Mar died if it's because you didn't have kavanah of Amar Rabbi Lazar Lo'Elam Yimad Adam Asatzmoi and Yachal L'Chavan Eslibo Yispal Am Lava Yispal. A person should measure himself and see if he's able to daven, then he should daven. If he can't daven, then don't daven. Ela Delayit Karmar the Reish Yarcha must be he forgot to mention Rosh Chodesh. But then we learned that by Ma'ariv, if you get Rosh Chodesh, you don't go back. By Shachas, if you get yaleh viyavo, you don't have to say it because you can do it by mussaf. We don't pass in this way, obviously. By mussaf, if you didn't mention any Rosh Chodesh, then you could say it by mincha, so you don't have to go back. Did not tell you on this. That's only by a tzibur.
By mussaf we mention?
You have to, mussaf is for Rosh Chodesh.
But we don't mention it. We don't say all the other mussaf or anything.
No, but it means you have to mention Rosh Chodesh in it.
Okay.
Right? So B'tzibur Shonu, Rashi has two pshatim. Either it's because he'll hear it from the Shliach Tzibur, right? But if you're davening alone, then you have to go back. Or the Bahag says that it's a Shliach Tzibur that messed up, and therefore he doesn't have to go back because of Tichat Tzibura, which is the shiloh that happened in one of our wonderful local institutions last week, where the Shliach Tzibur forgot, and then he said something wrong, and they made him go back after Tachnun, which was a little bit of a headache, but that was halacha. Okay, now we get to one of the more misunderstood Gemaras.
That's another incentive to only have a Shabbos minyan.
There you go. Yep. So kama yisha bein tefila tefila. How much time do you have to wait in between each shemona esrei? Meaning, if you're doing tashlumin, meaning you're davening twice, or if you forget. So Rav Huna Rav Chisda, right? Rav Huna Rav Chisda said, "Chad Omer Kadei Shetischayin Dati Olav." As long as you're going to have das to be in a frame of mind to have chaynin to daven, which Rashi says they mean the same exact thing. just they're using different terms. It's based on the pasuk Veschanan, so therefore he says the word lashon chayninu. Right, but we say on a fast day that Moshe davened. Fine. So this is the Gemara that's often misunderstood. If you make a mistake, you don't say Rosh Chodesh by Ma'ariv, like everybody knows, you don't go back. Why? Because they never were Mekadosh Chodesh at night, only during the day. So therefore, they didn't necessarily know that it was Rosh Chodesh, right? Many people think that the reason why you don't go back if you forget yaleh viyavo by Ma'ariv is because Ma'ariv is a reshus, that if you don't have to go back. If you forget yaleh viyavo and Chol HaMoed by night, you must go back according to all opinions, because it has nothing to do with Kiddush HaChodesh. Only Rosh Chodesh, because they weren't Mekadosh HaChodesh in the night. That's where if you forget yaleh viyavo, then that's where you have to go back. So Amar Amir Mustavar Milsta Dera b'Chodesh Mali. So it makes sense in a Chodesh Mali where there's 30 days in the month and 2 days Rosh Chodesh. But if it would be a Chodesh Chaser, then meaning there's only 29 days, right? Because you'll have the next night Rosh Chodesh. Then the legitimate Rosh Chodesh is the next night when it's 2 days Rosh Chodesh. When it's only 1 day Rosh Chodesh, if you don't say Ma'ariv at night, then you missed it. So you're saying maybe when you do when it's only 1 day Rosh Chodesh, you'd have to go back. Rav said a reason. Mali chaser, mali mole. He said the reason is because they're not Mekadosh Chodesh at night, having nothing to do with that. There's 2 days Rosh Chodesh, 1 day Rosh Chodesh. Therefore, doesn't make a difference. However many nights Rosh Chodesh is, if you forget yaleh viyavo, you don't have to go back. But again, it's only on Rosh Chodesh, not any other time. Hadron loch tefilos hashachar. On to the next parak. You cannot stand up to daven unless you have literally hachna, means humble. Rashi says. Chasidim waited an hour before they daven in order to get their minds in the proper place. Even if a melech asks how you doing, don't answer him. Even if there's a snake around your foot, you should not be mafsik. This is not like Kriya Shema. A few blot ago we had Kriya Shema. There you could answer. During tefila, it's more of a problem. Yeah, Zakti Gemara, Minohani Mili. How do you know this? Amar Rav Elazar, such a bunch of psukim. Amar Rav Elazar, Amar Krav, he maras nefesh. This is talking about Chana. She was a maras nefesh. So maybe Dilma Chana Shani, to have us merid or liba tuva. She was very, very sad or bitter. So you see, you have to bow down to the heichal when you're fearing, when you fear Hashem. Maybe David was different because he caused himself a lot more tsar to daven to Hashem than everybody else. Bow down to Hashem b'hadras kodesh. I'll take her b'hadras ella b'chardas. Not with hider, with beauty, but with fear. So then the Gemara says, hadras mamish. Maybe it's hider, beauty. Ki hadar Rav Yehuda have mitzay nafshi b'adar matzli. Right? Rav Yehuda would put on nice clothing, and meaning literally means mark himself, and then he would daven. So maybe that's what it means. You have to look nice. Ella, which is where we paskin, by the way. Work, do avodah for Hashem when you're feared, the gilu, and then be happy. But when you're still having some form of scared. When you're happy, then you should still have some sort of fear. Abaya was sitting in front of Rabbi Chazid Tuva. He saw him laughing a lot. Says you should laugh, but it shouldn't be just straight laughter. It should be with some sort of fear. I'm not tefillin menachna. I have tefillin on my head, so that's enough to keep Yirah Shemayim on me. Rav Yirmi have also commanded Rav Zera. Rav Yirmi was sitting in front of Rav Zera. Chazid have a kabbadah Tuva. He also saw him laughing a lot. Amalei b'chol etzev yiyeh b'chol etzev yiyeh ma'isar. Right. With all sadness, there's something good about it. Ma'aseh, there's something good. Amalei, I'm not tefillin menacha. I have tefillin on my head, so therefore it's going to keep me under control. All right? Fine. Enjoy the rest of whatever your evening.
Yaakov, I thought you said you were going to be wearing spandex.
I asked. Nobody told me they wanted me to.
Oh, okay.
Kalman is here.
Rabbi, what's with the smichas? What's with the smicha of the bracha for Tefilas haderech?
The Shulchan Aruch doesn't say it. The Machmirim say it. The Shulchan Aruch says you don't have to. The Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it down. So the Machmirim do it, but you don't have to do it.
Bring down the Maram Rittenberg.
Bye, Rabbi.
All right, l'chaim, everybody.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Sag gesund.
1 second. Zach and Tzvi, you want to do the first part?
We have to do it now. You want me to do the first part right now?
Why not? Let me stop the recording. I'll throw everybody off. We'll do it 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna splice it in the beginning.